Good morning. Welcome to Patrice's Projects. Here I am sitting on the floor in my garden room getting ready to do a special order. I called my sister and told her what I was growing for her. She declined the cayenne pepper, but she did want to do another poblano pepper, which I had gotten the seeds from Ray last year. And last episode I was running out of the starting mix, so what I had started doing is taking my potting mix, which is a combination of the cocoa coir, and I think that's how you say it. I call it cocoa coir because it's easier to say. A regular potting mix, which I use a good one. It's Fox Farm, and it's got a lot of nutrients in there. It's also got perlite, which I usually use vermiculite, but the perlite works well too to keep the soil aerated. And then it's got a bunch of other stuff in it. I think it even has bat guano in it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these most of the way with this potting soil, and then I'm going to top it off with the starting mix. One of the seeds I'm going to be using, I got from a jalapeno from a restaurant, and it was a really nice, big, thick-walled jalapeno. Not real hot, but my sister doesn't like them real hot, and I just want to see if I can grow a good-sized, thick-walled jalapeno. So I saved the seeds, and we're going to do 2 of those. Now, when I'm putting the seeds, I want to look at my seeds and make sure it's a nice seed. See, this one looks nice and solid, and it's thick. This one, you can kind of see through it to the center area. I'm not going to plant that one. This one looks really good. So those 2 are the ones I'm going with. And when you're only planting one seed at a time, you really have to look at your seed to make sure it's a good solid seed. So one of those there and one there. And so that I don't forget what pepper's what, it's got rating on it, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the label right now before I can get any further with the planting. So, and I write the date on there of when I put the seed in. And because I'm doing a 4-pack, I only really have to put the date on one of these. So there's that. And then here's the seeds that I got from Ray last year. All of these seeds look good. I'm not going to be concerned about which one. Thank you, Ray. Really nice seeds. Sometimes when you have seeds mailed to you, they'll get crushed. So, look for signs that they're crushed or damaged. And you probably don't want to use that because there's a certain amount of seeds should be kept dry, but not so dry that they're going to start to like powder up or anything like that. So if they're cracked, they're probably losing that little bit of moisture that they need to stay healthy. That's a starting mix. And this is already pre-moistened starting mix. This is also a pre-moistened potting mix. Just put a thin layer, you didn't even see that. Put a thin layer like that over the top, because you only want between an 1/8 inch and 1/4 on top. They're not real big seeds like peas or beans, where you'd go 1/2 inch down. All you need is enough to cover it, keep the seed moist. Peppers do take quite a while to sprout as compared to like tomatoes and other tiny seeds sprout really quick. Peppers take a little bit longer. The problem with peppers sometimes is they will get stuck in the seed shell, and even though I can get them to sprout, trying to get the shell opened up without damaging the plant can be a chore. It's probably best just to start over with that seed if you're doing the 1 seed planting like I am here. If I put two seeds in each cell, then I would be able to pull that one out and just keep the one that came out correctly. But I hate killing plants, so I think I'd rather just do it this way and hope for the best. So there's my pepper seeds, and then we're going to do the fresh food seeds like I've been talking about. I forgot to mention, you have to make sure to water them in. Even though my soil is moist, by watering them in, you make sure to get really good contact to the soil with the seed. And I'm using lights which dry them a lot, so I like to give them a really good squirt. Get it under it. And again, peppers need to be on a heating mat. If you didn't see the last video where I was doing the tomatoes and peppers, they don't need to be, but the seeds more often fail without good heat. They like between like 75 and 85 degrees. Once you plant them and then put them on heat, you need to keep them on the heat until they germinate. It's best to have all one variety per packet, because every type is going to have its own germination rate, but I only need one plant per type, and then I grow for my sister one plant per type. Another thing that you can do, so you don't have to run your heating pad all day long, if you're using a light like mine where it's got a nice flat surface, you can put all of the seeds or the pots up here, because this has quite a bit of heat, not quite as hot as my heating pad, because these are, fluorescent bulbs, so they don't get real hot. But I think it's hot enough for them to maintain heat to the seeds. So in order to save electricity, you can turn that heating pad off, as long as you're using the light to keep growing other food or plants of some sort. So that way it's doing double duty. You're using it for your heating mat and to grow your plants. Earlier today, I just ran out of steam after doing the few things I did. I still have bronchitis, still trying to... Yesterday I was feeling pretty darn good and I got some house stuff done. Maybe I overdid it. Could be. So let's go ahead and start on the fresh food planting. We're going to start with the strawberries, and it's been like 3 days since you've seen the strawberry last. Maybe just 2, but look how much it has withered. Look at that. But see how the seeds are sticking out of it? It makes it so much easier to grab with the tweezers, so let's get started. The strawberries that I got the seeds off of, I'll post the name on it when I go tomorrow when I go out and look to see what the variety is. But it is one that was developed at UC Davis, which is near to where I live, and it has been producing. It produced all the way through the fall. It still has a few strawberries ripening on it right now, and it's January 22nd. So what I've done here is I filled up this tray. Just like you do flour, I put more on it than I needed. I just scraped off the top. So I'm going to gently push down the soil just a little bit, and that way it gives me some room to put that fine soil on top, even though I'm only going to put a super fine layer of it, because strawberries are very small seeds, and you can actually just drop them on the top and germinate them that way, according to what I've seen on YouTube. But I like to put the fine layer of soil on top, so I'm going to try for like a 1/16 of an inch if I can possibly sprinkle it on that thin. There's a lot of seeds on this paper towel, and what I'm going to try and do is get like maybe, I don't know, 6 in each one of these cells, and I'm also going to make sure I take a couple seeds off that off the strawberry to put in each cell. So I'm going to gently rub this paper towel go ahead and start putting those in. My table here is wet. So let's probably be easiest to just put some in my hand like that. Grab a little pinch and just sprinkle them around, but spreading them out as best I can. That looks like plenty. There's probably about 7 in there. Like I said, I want to make sure to get a couple of those off the strawberry that's still sort of fresh. But it's better if you let them dry like that. Also, I wanted to mention, I forgot all about dry like that on the counter instead of putting it into the refrigerator, because in the refrigerator it has a better chance of rotting. On the counter it's going to shrivel and dry like that just how you want it. Oh, that's real close together. Okay. And what I'll do, if more than one germinate in these cells, is I'll keep the strongest 2 that are far enough apart for me to be able to separate them, let them grow out to about 4 or 5 leaves, and then separate them and put them in individual cells. That way I'll have plenty more plants than I'll actually need. Now let's get that strawberry. There it is. Pick off. What I do is I'll pull it back like that, and it pushes the seeds out more. See how it... Okay, I'll do it on the other side. Push it back, and it pops the seeds right to the surface. And another good, I mean, that is just one of the benefits of having this shriveled. Oh, that didn't come off. They really like to stick, and that's part of why they were on a paper towel. I could get them off of the tweezer on the paper towel easier than anything else. I couldn't put them into a cup like that because they wanted to stick. I could put more than 2 each, but I'm sure that I've got plenty of seeds to germinate, and they aren't nearly as dried out and old as the other seeds that I was doing. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll cover it over with some soil. I hope you can see in there and see the little seeds. There's a lot of them per cell. I hope you can see them. And now we're going to cover it over with some seed starting mix. And instead of using my little trowel to shovel some in there, because I want it to be such a fine layer, I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle it by finger. Just a real fine layer. And also this way I can break up any little clumps that are... So now I'm just going to gently smooth it out, not really even tamping it down, just smoothing it out a little. Just to make sure that everything gets covered properly. And then I'll just use the spray bottle because, again, my soil is moist already. That looks good. See, now you don't see any seeds present on the surface. That's all you want, that's all you need. And because the tag that says the actual type of strawberry this is out there, I'm not going to write it on here. I'm just going to write, I'm starting it from up here because I might end up shoving it further into the soil if I need to for sun for the strawberries. And the date is the 22nd. And we'll see how long these take to sprout, to germinate. Using fresher seeds. I was just surprised any germinated last time. So there it is. I'm not going to put this one on the heat mat because I don't have room. I'm just going to use the lights during the day when they're on. They run 13 hours a day. Some people say 14 to 16 hours a day. I think 13 is fine. My plants seem to like it fine. And now, on to a tomatillo. So, in case you didn't watch the video where I was preparing the types of pots with the big holes in the bottom for indoor growing, what I like to do is put a little piece of paper towel in the bottom to cover all those holes so that while the soil is loose, it doesn't get all over the place, because after it's been in the pot for a while and being watered, it'll hold together better. These pots are a little bigger than I wanted to use, but I couldn't find two smaller ones like this. The cups, they outgrow things so fast. I grew some last year, and they just grow so fast once they germinate. And they're in the nightshade family, like a tomato. They kind of look like a tomato all wrapped up. This one's been sitting on my counter for months, literally months. And so let's see how it looks inside. Still, it's not rotten, it's just a little shriveled. And the ones that I had put in the refrigerator didn't keep real well. So there you see the seeds inside. Try and clear that up a little bit. All kinds of seeds. All I need is a couple of good ones. I'm going to put 2 in each pot and take out, and I hate doing that. I hate thinning, but I know I only want 2 tomatillos. The only reason I'm doing 2, even though they're gigantic plants, can be, is because many people say you have to have cross-germination in order for them to, or cross-pollination in order for them to fruit. So I'm looking in here, I'm looking for the biggest, nicest seeds. All of them look really good, really. So, but I see a couple here that I'm after, like this one. That looks like a pretty good fat seed right there. I'm gonna put that one in. And I'm just gonna put them on the soil because I'm going to bury them later. Oh, one thing with the strawberries, when I was pulling some off, once in a while you'll hear a pop, and so you can assume that that one might not germinate and then put another one in its place. So I ended up actually putting several seeds in each, like 3 or 4 of the fresh seeds in each container, just because I had so many on that strawberry and I wanted to make sure I got at least a couple in each cell, because that's what I'm after. Okay, so many nice big seeds. I could give away a bunch of these seeds if I wanted to, but it's not enough to really do in a giveaway. So there's one of the seeds right there. I kind of tucked under right over here. Is that it? That's it. Okay. Anyway, so I have them kind of diagonal of each other, that way it's easy to take one out without disturbing the other. One of the things that you can do when you're thinning is just take when they're little seedlings, take some scissors and just cut off or pinch off with your nails whatever ones you don't want, and that'll stop the growth. The root will not grow another at the seedling stage. It's just not strong enough. It's not developed enough. So that's all I'm going to do there. And then I should be watering with something that gives more water at a time, but you get the idea. And the soil underneath is quite wet, so that should do her. And because these are, again, in the nightshade family, same as peppers and tomatoes, I'm going to have to try and get these onto the heating mat. Which I did decide to put my other pots on top of the light and just hope that that's hot enough, because it does save energy. Every penny counts. And save the world. Okay. So that's that for that. Didn't I have a third item I was growing from food? Yes, I do have a third item I'm growing from food. Remember those shriveled raspberries? We're going to try those too. Okay, same process. Put paper towels in the bottom to cover up the holes. Filled it up with potting mix to the top. Scraped it off like chunky brown sugar. That might be too chunky. I don't like that. So I do want my roots to be able to get through this stuff. Pat it down a little more firmly than I did the strawberries. The seeds are quite bigger than the strawberries, but I'm going to be planting them with a piece of fruit attached to each one, because the way that the raspberries are designed, each little lobe of it has a seed in it. Where's my tweezers? There they are. I'll take this one that's already torn up. It wants to be planted. So this little tiny piece right here has a few different seeds in it. So each time I pull it apart, each lobe of it has a seed. This is two right here. Yeah. So I want to make sure that I separate them into single seeds and plant them. It looks like that seed just popped right out of there. I'm not sure. But I'm going to plant them with the fruit attached, because I'm not sure how to get the seed out safely. Looks like one. So I'm going to go ahead and put like maybe 5 or 6 in each cell, and then we'll bury it over. Okay, I put at least 8 in each cell. I think you can see those. I'm going to go ahead and put some of that starting mix up on top of these. Looks good. Okay. And now we are done. So it's amazing the number of things that you can find in the grocery aisle that you can actually plant and grow more food from. I'm hoping that these raspberries take off. I don't see why they wouldn't. The fruit had seeds in them. They were mature. They're probably hybrid. I'll probably end up with something that's crap with a whole bunch of thorns, but the only way to find out is to try it. And I'm going to try it. So thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and do that now. You can follow along and find out how all this stuff does for me. And maybe you might want to try it too. So give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Share it with friends, because maybe some friends of yours or just acquaintances might want to give it a try as well. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.